Here's your first clue for recognizing the difference between major chords and minor chords. Most people would agree that major chords sound happy and minor chords sound sad. So, what am I playing right now? Can you tell me, is this a happy-sounding major chord or a sad-sounding minor chord? Take a second. What do you think? Now, a lot of you are going to have trouble at first. You're not going to necessarily be able to do this instantly. That is a happy-sounding major chord. Listen to it again. Now, I'm going to turn it into a minor chord, and notice how it sounds sad. That's the sad-sounding minor chord. There's the happy-sounding major chord. Here's another one. Is this a happy-sounding major chord or a sad-sounding minor chord? What do you think? Hopefully you said that that's a sad-sounding minor chord, and you'd be right. Now, here's a major version of the same chord. And happy music generally has more happy chords in it. Da 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 da. And sad music generally has more minor chords in it. Da 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 da. So there you go. That's the difference between major chords and minor chords. We said there are 20 chords that you have to learn the sounds of. You got 18 more to go. What's the big deal? Some chords sound like fear. Some chords sound like surprise. Some chords sound like ecstasy. They sound even beyond happy. And I think that's the way I identify a lot of my chords, is basically by how they make me feel. And, of course, there are a lot of other tricks, too. Ear training is a big process. It takes a long time to get your ears trained, and we'll be putting that in perspective more as we go on in the program. Another whole aspect of ear training is all about singing. A good ear training coach makes you sing various patterns and various relationships, the reason being that the singing of the pattern is the only proof that anyone ever has that you actually know what these different patterns sound like. I'll give you an example of that. Here's a note on the piano. Can you hum that note? I can. That would prove to my ear training coach that I actually know what that note sounds like. Some of you are going to have trouble with that. You know what I mean? And you may have to work at that for a little while in your first couple of hours of ear training. Now, what the rest of ear training is all about is your ear training coach quizzes you on what different patterns sound like, and the only way that he can tell whether you know what they sound like or not is being able to sing them. Now, for example, we were talking a few minutes ago about an octave, right? That's when you go from one note in our pitch system up to the next one that has the same alphabet letter up there. Well, an octave is a pitch pattern that you're going to want to learn the sound of. And the only way your ear training coach will know whether you know what an octave sounds like is if you can sing it. Now, I play this first note here. And he'll go to me, okay, you know what that note sounds like. Can you sing the note that is the next octave higher than that? And here I go. I'll sing the lower one first. Now here's the higher one. Now let's see if I'm right. Do, do. And he goes, fine, okay, you know what an octave sounds like. Let's go work on some other pattern. And eventually you work your way through all your 50 patterns, and you convince your ear training coach that you know what the stuff sounds like by being able to sing them for him. And people go, oh, God, that's going to be hard. That's going to be embarrassing. I go, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? It's just something you got to face up to. And ear training, once you get in there, you'll start to go, oh my God, this is the whole thing. If I could do this with music, I can do anything I want. I can figure out songs by listening to them. I can write my own music. And the last thing I want to show you about today is about improvising. This is huge. A lot of you are interested in styles of music like blues and jazz and rock. And these styles of music all involve an element of improvisation. I'm surprised about how many people don't know that, but particularly in styles of popular music like blues, you know, when that guy gets up there and plays that guitar solo in the middle of the song, you know, right, that he doesn't play it the same way every night. He plays it differently each night, and that is one of the most fun things. I know a lot of you already know about this and want to be able to improvise. This is what jamming is all about. You go over to your friend's house and you're making up the music right on the spot. That's what improvising is all about. How do you improvise? You improvise by having trained ears. A lot of people don't understand that. They think that learning to improvise has to do with learning more and more finger patterns and learning more and more music theory. And it's true. Both of those things are important, but it's not really where the improvisation really comes from. The improvisation comes from having trained ears. And you know that singing thing I was talking about? Believe it or not, a lot of you are going to have a lot of trouble believing what I'm saying right now, but I'm going to play you an example in just a second. My great quote is, "You are never going to play a better guitar solo than you can sing." And people go, "Huh? What the heck? Nobody's ever said anything like this to me before." That's because I'm telling you the truth, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to play you a little bit of a tune that I wrote right here. This is a piece I wrote, so it's a kind of a funky, jazzy kind of tune. And so you'll see a little bit of my ability to compose. This is just a little practice tape I have. And over the top of that, I'm going to improvise, and I think you'll think it's pretty good. And then I'm going to show you where that improvisation came from. Ready? Here we go. It's kind of a, you'll like this, I think, kind of a funky, rocky, jazzy, bluesy thing. Let's see how I do. Good, huh? This is a little early in the morning for me, but wouldn't you like to be able to improvise at least that well? Maybe you'd like to be able to improvise better than that. Now, a lot of people think, oh, you did that because you learned more and more finger patterns and stuff like that, but that's not where it came from. You want to know where that solo came from? It came from my mind, and I'll prove it. You'll never play a guitar solo better than you can sing. You want to hear where that solo really came from? Came from right here. Now, it's just that most people would rather listen to the guitar than my crappy voice. So all I do is I know where to put my fingers in order to create the notes that I hear in my head. So here's the whole solo together. See, it's all ear training. Hi, I'm Scotty West, creator of the Absolutely Understand Guitar Video Home Study Program. Hey, thanks for all the positive feedback on our video guitar lessons. We're now uploading new lessons right from our DVD Home Study Program. Each lesson is 70 minutes long, but we've chopped them up into 10-minute chapters to fit on YouTube, so each lesson will have 7 chapters. It's critical that you watch these chapters in order. Make sure you start with Lesson 1, Chapter 1, then move to Lesson 1, Chapter 2, etc. When you've finished all the chapters for Lesson 1, then move on to Lesson 2. Hey, some of this stuff you might already know, and some of it's a little dry. You're going to wonder, do I really need to know this stuff? The answer is yes. Each one of these chapters contains little gems of information that nobody's told you yet, and these are the missing pieces that are preventing you from seeing the big picture. Don't cheat yourself out of these valuable realizations. Stick with the program. Also, consider our complete DVD home study program. Our high-resolution DVD video is much better than these fuzzy little YouTube clips, and you'll also get all our cool printed material, too. So good luck with your music and enjoy the lessons.